Welcome back, fourth graders. I'm going to go over the answers to yesterday's assignment on sequence. Remember, Honey Rose had laid out some cards for us to try to put in order according to what things we've studied. Like, what did we study first? Then, what did we study? Next, what did we study? Using helping words or signal words to put them in order. So I gave you the free one, the word genre. Remember, genre, as we review, is all categories of all stories and all books. All books fit into a genre. From there, we went into nonfiction. So if you had that one next, you were right. Nonfiction is a type of genre. And so we started talking about nonfiction and fiction, the two types, the two main categories of genres. And from nonfiction genres, we looked at a whole list of them. We found that in that list of nonfiction genres, we had this type of genre called a biography. Biographies are true stories of people's lives. And so we looked at different kinds of biographies. In fact, we started to look at two different biographies about some baseball players. And once we started to look at those biographies, we then focused on what was the main ideas of those biographies. When we started to look at a page or a section, what was it mostly about? What were the main ideas and details on that page? And so within biographies, then we started to talk about main idea and details. And finally, what we just finished with recently was the compare and contrast. Comparing those two biographies, those two people, Lou Gehrig and Roberto Clemente, we did a comparing and contrasting of those two stories, those two biographies. So we can't forget where we've been. And as we continue on now talking about sequence, we actually just did a sequence. We put these things in order. Hopefully you did that correctly. But we're going to now move into sequence, which will then be our next, strangely enough, our next card. If we were to have one more down here at the bottom, it would be sequence. Now, if you put biographies somewhere further down because you thought, well, we started talking about main ideas and details, and biographies we still talked about when we did compare and contrast, you're right, we did. We kept talking about biographies. We kept moving it down, talking about it with main idea and details, talking about it with compare and contrast. But biographies, really, when we started it, was right after we talked about the nonfiction section, the category nonfiction genres. So genres, nonfiction, and then one type is biographies or true stories of people's lives. And then within that, main ideas and the details of that person's life, and then comparing the two of them and contrasting them. How are they the same and how are they different? All right, I hope you did well. Good luck as you move on now and watch a video about some other particular animals. Honey Rose is a big fan of the tortoise, even though she is fairly fast and she does like the hare. But you can see what you think of with these next two characters as you watch the video.